Welcome to the NoFace Show.
Looking at it from the artist's point of view today, the industry has changed completely, right?
Yes.
Singing in the streets, even though still people still sing on the subway and stuff right now, a lot of people are so focused on social media. But from listening to you, what I've seen is that yes, it is very different, but the hard work, the dedication, and all of the effort that you put in, it's kind of still the same way. Instead of trying to get discovered in the street right now, people are trying to get discovered on Instagram's Explorer page or trying to get some algorithm to push them. But the main kind of like way of getting there, it's actually more similar than you'd think, right? Just putting yourself out there as much as possible and all of that, and it's really great. Like, even though time has changed and of course the industry has changed too, getting there might still be very similar, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, because everyone is doing the same thing today online, I think it would be refreshing if an artist was to go the route I went, go back to the old ways, because no one's expecting it. And if you're that artist walking into RCA right now, you're probably going to be the only one, because no one today thinks of, well, let me do that. I remember back when I was getting into the industry, we had heard of this up and coming artist from Atlanta who actually put his demo under a pizza that somebody at the label loved, this certain type of pizza, the toppings, whatever the combination was. And so he ordered the pizza and then put his CD demo under the pizza, and the artist turned out to be USHER.
No way.
So,
oh, wow.
like, to hear
incredible.
a story like that, he was being creative. He was, back then we had to be creative.
Yeah.
And I think if artists were to go back that route, they'd probably get heard a lot easier, because, well, online they're so hard to get found because there's so many people doing it. But if an artist was to say, hey, let me go to LA, find out where the labels are, and literally just stand out front and sing, eventually someone's going to come out and they're going to notice you. And whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, at least you're getting noticed. So maybe taking an old school mentality might be the best way to go about it right now.
Yeah, and not even on the singing side. I just saw a TikTok and a YouTube video of this guy who literally attached a DJ table to his back and was walking around the streets DJing with his microphone. I don't know if you saw that, but he was in the subway just DJing and having fun. And he blew up on social media now. He hundreds of thousands of followers. So we, especially with the quarantine and people kind of being bored in their houses, and now people starting to go out, I feel like a lot of people have become more creative. So you 100% see that. So that's really good. You kind of I thought of that example, and I also remember right now a friend, we were talking about the market being saturated and everything, and they told me that they would literally bring USB drives or CDs to concerts and throw them at the stage. See, by any miracle someone would grab them, or some of the artists would grab it or something. So that's
we used to go to when they'd have the Billboard Music Awards, or they'd have different shows. When I was in the group, we would go to all of those shows, and we would stand outside, and we were good, and we drew a lot of attention. We'd go to, Britney Spears was in town at Madison Square Garden. What a great audience. That was our audience. So we would go and we would just start singing, and people recognized us. So really, you have to just do whatever you have to do to draw attention to yourself. And if everyone's doing the same thing online, then you have to start thinking, well, how can I do something a little differently? And maybe taking it back to the streets. Maybe that is the different thing, because, well, no one does that anymore. So maybe that's the thing to do.
Yeah, that's awesome that we got into that conversation, because it's funny. It's kind of funny, but at the same time, it's so smart, right?
Yeah,
so I love it.